for 6 o'clock. That poor little tree Barbie bought. She never let me plant it in the front yard, so it's still sitting in this poor little pot with some bottles crammed in it. I don't know where those came from, but Barbie likes it. Alright, what I wanted to show you was the super backyard raspberry crop. One of the ones I planted 4.5 years ago. I planted these. No, wait, this one suckered after the first year. That's right. These ones back here were the ones I planted 4.5 years ago. And then this one put out a sucker out here, like, about 1.5 feet from where I planted it. And it grew this nice, big, huge one. In fact, dang, it looks like they're... I don't know if that crown's that big or if that's two separate crowns. Look at that. This one way over here. And then there's this one. Looks like it's the main crown right here, but look how big it is. There's one back there, one over there. Wow, that is a super plant, man. That's gonna put out... I would wager to say that sucker's gonna put out a whole half a bowl of berries just by itself. And then I got all these other ones. Let's see, these are only 3.5 years old, because these all, well, at least this one here did. These might be the ones I planted 4.5 years ago. But only a couple of them out of the 5 I planted in this section right here lived. And apparently they suckered over here, and the one that they suckered to is just huge. Out here closer to the walkway, I know I didn't plant that one 4.5 years ago, but it has been there, I think, ever since 3.5 years ago. Very nice plant. You can see they're turning purple. They turn from green to purple and they get kind of a white dust. See that white dust on them? That means they're really healthy, really good. Yeah, there that leaf came down. It took the white off. Isn't that funny? The leaves from the tree up above fall down and get stuck in them. I go around and pull the leaves out and try to keep the berries from scratching my hand while I do it. Yeah, look at that. Now, let me show you how these things work. What you got is you got these little sprigs, like here, right above these main stems. There's one there. Let's see where. Here's one up here and here. If you can see that little sprig right up above there. Next June, that's going to grow out into a big thing full of berries. I can trim down. I'm going to trim down in March the small sprigs, like this little small one that can't handle berries. So what I do is I cut it like right about here, because this one, or I can cut that little one off there, cut this off, and this will produce a big sprig of berries right off this sprig here, this sprig down here, this sprig down here. So what we do is we cut off these little tiny ones. We leave them on in the summer because they have leaves that feed the plant with sunlight. We don't want to cut them too short when they're still got, new leaves from the first summer. Such a shame that next summer, after these put out berries, by the 4th of July, I'll have to come back and cut them. I don't know how I let this crazy thing growing this long, but that'll definitely have to go. This poor little sucker here, this is one of the ones I planted 4.5 years ago, and looks like it had some sprigs on it a couple of years ago, but for some reason it just didn't put out new growth like it was supposed to. I'll be lucky if I get a fifth of a bowl of ripe berries out of that, maybe. Now these are the ones I planted a little bit too close together, unfortunately. I didn't realize I should have planted them a little bit further apart, but these three right here, 4.5 years ago, and these two on the end suckered over to here behind the garage and here. So these are only 3.5 years old. All of these nice big ones. Let me back up so you can see them. These nice big ones right here are only 3.5 years ago because they suckered off the first ones. If you don't cut those shoots off during July and August, they will just put these little shoots out like this one here, but they'll be like thicker and bigger, and they'll just shoot over into the ground. I can show you how the blackberries, the ground hugging blackberries plant that we got about 4 years ago. That trying to let that sucker, but I'll be changing that part of the garden next year. I'll probably be tearing up all the red raspberries. Here's one that I planted 4.5 years ago next to the dining room picture window. There's Barbie's little basket. She loves the morning glories in it. I planted 3 here, and only this one ended up really doing good. I mean, that's a top-notch plant there. Well, it's got a crazy weed or tree trying to grow up. God, these damn trees put down roots so heavy you gotta use a knife to cut them off. Anyway, this big one suckered over to here. 2 little plants there, a bigger one there next to the walk. 1 and 2 over here. So that was a real hardy plant there. Then I got this one I planted up in front. That's a nice one. Look at all the new growth on that baby. That's 4.5 years old. Just look at all that nice growth. That baby will put out, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 healthy sprigs off that one crown. And that is a nice one. And that suckered over to here. Puts out a couple little ones in the middle of Barbie's lily bed. But here is the way they sucker. Although this one's a ground hugger, the raspberries go way up in the air and then down into the ground like this. This one's going up, then it goes down. See where it's burying itself in the lawn there. Here's one here. Where the hell's this coming from? Oh, it got bent. Oh, damn. It got bent, but it's still trying to grow. It must have been tripped over. Oh, look at this one. It's trying to suck her way over here. Wow. And then there's this one that's closest to the walkway. Looks like it's been tripped on there, but it's still trying to suck her. See? Right there, it's going into the patch of open earth I scraped off for it there. All these wild red raspberries I'm going to dig out and either put super tomatoes or proper gold raspberries in there. Unfortunately, that means I'll probably be digging out this ground-hugging berry, blackberry too, along with all this worthless grass and a few wild red raspberry sprigs. Dig all that. Oh, look, here's a wild red raspberry that we never noticed. Look at that. Poor fucker. God, it's been sitting there for a month.